excited. Wala ng S.
Determinants.
As information culture as determinant on the botanic article na the on the research self-efficacy among graduates.
For the rationale,
Proceed na lang sa objectives.
Objectives na.
the research objectives. First, the purpose of this study is to determine which domain of information culture best influences research self-efficacy among graduate students. Specifically answer the following objectives. First, to assess the level of information culture as determinant in terms of integrated information culture, proactive information culture, and informal information culture. Second, to ascertain the level of research self-efficacy among graduate students in terms of data analysis self-efficacy, research integration self-efficacy, data collection self-efficacy, and
Technical right.
third, to determine the significant relationship between information culture and research self-efficacy among graduate students. And last, to determine which domain of information culture best influences research self-efficacy among graduate students. For the theoretical framework, this study is anchored on the Convention of Cannes 2001 and Scott 1997 that research self-efficacy is an important construct to foster student research interest and productivity. Likewise, another theory that supports the study is the self-efficacy theory of Bandura 1997, which represents one's confidence in being able to perform a given behavior. In addition, Lent and Brown and Hackett 1994 stress that self-efficacy is believed to be a relevant factor in one's career choice and persistent career field. For the conceptual framework, for my independent variables, we have the integrated information culture, proactive information culture, informal information culture, and for dependent variables, we have data analysis self-efficacy, research integration self-efficacy, data collection self-efficacy, and technical writing self-efficacy. For methodology, for the research design, we use quantitative non-experimental research design and the descriptive correlation technique. Then we have the sampling design, we use the Sloven's formula. For research respondents, we have 301 graduate students of the University of Mindanao. For the research instrument, we use the questionnaire on information culture was taken from the study of Lowry, Idris, and Berkos 2016, while the questionnaire of research self-efficacy was patterned from the study of Mr. Pan 2004. We use the statistical use for the mean, person R, regression analysis. For the level of information culture among graduate students, Table 1 shows where the respondents of the level of information culture among graduate students which registered an overall mean score of 4.18, which was described as a high level. This meant that the level of information culture among graduate students was often manifested. The generated overall mean score was the result obtained from the mean score of 4.18 or high for integrated information culture, 4.16 or high for proactive information culture, and 4.21 or very high for informal information culture. From the findings, information culture informal information culture had the highest mean score of 4.21 or a very high. Meanwhile, the proactive information culture obtained a mean score of 416 or high as lowest among all indicators. Level of research self-efficacy among graduate students. Presented in the table 2 are the summary of respondents' responses of research self-efficacy among graduate students that registered overall mean score of 4.13 or very high, indicating that all indicators about research self-efficacy were more often manifested in the majority of the cases. The generated overall mean score was a result obtained from the mean score of 4.14 or high for data analysis self-efficacy, 4.14 or high for research integration self-efficacy, and 4.13 or high for data collection research efficacy, and 4.11 or high for technical writing self-efficacy. Based on the results, data analysis self-efficacy and research integration self-efficacy has the highest mean score of 4.14 or high on technical writing self-efficacy with a 4.11 mean rating. Significance on the relationship between information culture and research self-efficacy among graduate students. Shown in Table 3 are the correlation between information culture as determinants of research self-efficacy among graduate students. As described in the table, it is represented overall R value of 0.581 with a P value less than 0.05. That suggested that the null hypothesis is rejected and that there is a significant relationship between information culture as determinants of research self-efficacy. Therefore, the null hypothesis which states that there is no significant relationship between information culture as determinants of research self-efficacy among graduate students was rejected. Likewise, it was noticed that integrated information culture, proactive information culture, and informal information culture show a significant relationship to the data analysis self-efficacy, research integration self-efficacy, data collection research self-efficacy, and technical writing self-efficacy. On the other hand, the computed R value and P values for the correlation between the indicators of information culture and research self-efficacy are presented as follows. Integrated information culture, an R value of 4.453 with a P value of 0.00. Proactive information culture, an R value of 0.642 with a P value of 0.00. Informal information culture, an R value of 0.152 with a P value of 0.008, which are lower than 0.5 significant level. The results imply that the integrated information culture, proactive information culture, and informal information culture showed significant relationship with indicators that data analysis self-efficacy, research integration self-efficacy, data collection research self-efficacy, and technical writing self-efficacy. This relationship signaled that the researcher to further test the influence of the above-mentioned organizational domain on information culture using the regression analysis.
Ma'am, mag-decide ka ma'am ha, kung 5% pa yung marginal error o 1% ba ha? So, butangan na nimo P is than 0.05 ha. Okay, anyway, kanang asterisk, kuha na siya, understood na siya nga 1%. Nasa 1% lang ang error. Pero sa imuhang level of significance, sa imuhang statistical tool, na kuhaan man ka dito na 5.05 level of significance. Social research man siya. So, sa percent na niya marginal error. Kaya, basta explain kanini mo ma, nga mayroon kang 0.453 with a p-value very much lower than 0.05. Really good. Very much lower than 0.01. Kaya duha yung asterisk ito. Maglibog na gani ka. Ang asa sa duha. Okay?
Sir, ano sa ginagawa?
Kuhaan siya, 1% lang yung marginal error. Kanya, kana siya, isa ka asterisk, less than 0.05, i-consider in 5% ng error marginal. But, kuhaan man siya, it is widely used in social research, yung 5% lang. 5% lang ka nga, kay, kasi, yung pag-asterisk doon, ito point, okay, the overall, may yung pag-explaining mo dito ba, the overall R value when integrated information culture correlated to the indicators of research self-efficacy obtained an R value of 0.453 with equivalent P value of 0.000, very much lower than 0.01 level of significance. Libog na kagaya, ilahit man yung level of significance, ha? So, 0.05 lang taan. Awaan na ng asterisk ko din na. Basta less than 0.05 siya. Sige na, proceed na ma'am. Noted na may kayo.
Significance of influence of information culture, educators and research self-efficacy among graduate students. In Table 4 are the regression analysis of information culture as the determinants of research self-efficacy among graduate students. The regression model with 3 indicators, namely the integrated information culture, proactive information culture, informal information culture, yielded 75.615 and 0.428 with the p-value of 0.1, which are lower than 0.05 level of significance. Thus, it can be stated that information culture significantly influences research self-efficacy among graduate students.
Minsan dahil ilang statistician.
Kasi yung statistician, di ba, in-house man kayo, research office. Minsan, in particular.
Si Sir, hindi, Sir.
Uy, dili ko si Dr. Inong ba lang
Oh, dili si
natin?
Dr. Inong.
Dr. Inong, kaila dito silang amin.
Or ano, katong sa
Batan mo, no?
Batan mo.
Si Dr. Morsha.
Morsha.
Dili mo man siya Dr.
Ay, si Sir Morsha.
Si JP.
Yes,
Ikan sa tuwan.
Australia.
Australia. Okay. So, katulad, R na siya. At abinin mo, kanang R squared, mo na nang adjusted R squared. R squared lang din na siya, kaya meaning ko say adjusted R na siya. Yung ang R, mo po pwede kuhan. Basing na kuhan ng po niya. Ha? Mga gani, ato na ko ano. Yung p-value less than 0.01, 0 na lang din na.
00.
P-value.
00.
Explain na lang. Actually, explain. Para, kung what's the reason for it? Basta na sila explain, yung hindi yan na. Kailangan you go back to here.
Hindi man sa publication, hindi naman hindi na-question ang paper. Hindi sa publication.
Kasi mali, totoo yun, nakakalito. Because we're signing it na point
05.
Ang board ito sa point 05, ito ang
Bumoto ako nga. Kasi imong leaders, mag-imong na hinuot basa sa libro. Actually, ang culture sa UN, isa na pinag-level of significance. Kaya kung maglahi-lahi, ito na po na sa culture. Kanang lahi-lahi para na mabula siya sa control group, mental group, na pwede man-lahi-lahi ang mga communication, social research. Sige, katulang ha, kay anyway, katusiya, pag abusin ng final defense sa panel, gusto mo buka ako, ang culture sa panel ni mo, akong yun sila sa research culture sa UM. Alam yun, ikaw basta, yung system lang ba? Kung sa isulat mo sinong statistical tool, pag abot mo sa inyong chapter 3, mo lang ito yung gamitin. Pero wala ko nag-ingon na nga, maliin yung statistician na wala. Kailangan ko siya research culture. Dili lang po ang we are resistant to that here kay kung we are not used to it. Kay culture na po na dito sa ilahang university. Okay? Pero kung sa culture nila, mo may ba't yung bago. Okay?
Noted. No.
Proceed.
The conclusion. Based on the findings of study, the following conclusions are drawn. First, the level of information culture among librarians is high. The level of research self-efficacy among graduate students was high based on the result. There is a significant relationship between information culture as determinant on results self-efficacy among graduate students. And last, the three domains of information culture, which is proactive information culture and integrated information culture, was predictors of the research self-efficacy among graduate students. As we noticed, yun siya ang dalawa kanina ang mas mababa ang results. For my recommendation, in light of the foregoing findings and conclusion, the following recommendations are offered. First, the administration should encourage and support the staff, teachers, and librarians to attend conferences, pieces of training related to information literacy, changes, advancements in higher education to be updated with the new changes and innovations. Second, the researchers suggest that the administrators will help strengthen the students' research capability by adding necessary courses to the curriculum to hold periodic workshops that will enhance and develop research skills, specifically the mathematical and computer skills that will achieve good research output. Third, the researcher suggests that the administrator should encourage and support and strengthen the research capability of faculty and librarians by adding short courses, trainings, and forums that will enhance the research skills and enroll in professional schools. And the researcher suggests that the graduate students should have continuous capability trainings for research collaboration and to develop or write research output. And thank you.
To write research, dapat kuha na lang sila nimo nga to publish na.
Right answer.
Bilis. Ay, to write, publish na. Ako okay na ko. Katong comment
Wala
okay
lang din
na.
ako yung nakita nila ng mostly mo doon yung mga kuan is baba sila sa technical writing. That's the worksheet based on na mas babanat ka. Mas may recommend mo sa kuan. Mas kuan ka sa sa mathematical activities. Siguro, i-include lang yun siya sa documentation.
No comment. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Research self-efficacy na identified with